Once we have a research question, the next step is to identify the kind of data we need to answer it. Qualitative data involves collecting people's behaviours, experiences, feelings or impressions. There are many kinds of qualitative data and techniques you can use to collect them. The important thing is to identify the data that will help you find out what you want to know. May Abu Mogli explains that her approach to research on education in displaced communities is ethnographic. This means she wants to understand the culture of schools.
البحث تبعي عادة بيكون بحث إثنوغرافي اللي بيعتمد على الانخراط في المجتمع اللي بشتغل معاه. عادة بيكون بيعتمد على تجميع البيانات من خلال مقابلات شخصية مع أفراد أو مقابلات من خلال أو بيانات بجمعها من مجموعات مركزة بتكون مجموعات صغيرة بين 5 ل 10 أشخاص أو من خلال المشاهدات داخل الغرف الصفية أو داخل المدرسة أو بسياق أو البيئة المحيطة بالمدرسة. عادة هاي السياقات اللي بشتغل فيها وأنواع البيانات اللي بجمعها من خلال هاي الأدوات.
From a different discipline, Hawaida Al-Harithi, a professor of architecture, explains how she collects mental maps, which are images that people share about their own personal perspective on a space.
The kind of qualitative data I collect has to do a lot with socio-spatial practices, how people use space, because we are designers who want to accommodate their needs. So it's very important to understand the cultural practices, the social practices that have to do with space, how people use space, how they organize their lives. So we use techniques such as mental mapping. We use techniques such as sharing ideas for design, giving us models, visions in their heads. Of course, then we translate them into actual drawings. But this is one type of data I collect. One important thing to do from at least my disciplinary background, which is design, architecture and urban design, is not to think of data as a starting point, as something that I use to only conduct research, but really to think of it within the scope of participatory planning.
Zaina Amro also adopted a participatory approach in her research with Syrian refugees in Jordan. For this, she used a method called photo voice. This is a method that aims to dig deeper than a typical interview.
The participants would take pictures that would reflect something that is related to the theme of work that you're focusing on. In my case, the focus was on what it means to have well-being or to experience well-being while Syrian in Jordan, so displaced in Jordan. So discuss what these pictures would be. Took time until they felt comfortable of actually going ahead and taking these pictures and bringing them back. Once these pictures are taken and can be shared amongst each other in the group setting, I asked the participants to also pick of their pictures. So if you had 10, 15 pictures that you wanted to share, to pick at least 3 to 4 pictures that were specifically important for them in relation to the theme that we had been discussing throughout our meetings. So it could be a picture of your family, it could be a picture of a meal, it could be a picture of the street that's right around your house. But each one of these pictures not only was in itself a part of my data, but the stories that were narrated to discuss, to say why they had picked this picture or that picture, were in themselves also part of my data.
Observations, interviews, mental maps, photo voice. These are all techniques you can choose and adapt. What kind of data will answer your question?